When I'm walking down the street.
I do want to say to Doni and many of you in this room that over a very long career in this city, all of you have helped me and my colleagues tell the truth and to try to tell.
I may not look like you and you me, but
my head up.
I'm South Carolina, so I just
What does this event mean to you, Miss Peggy Morris?
Oh, my heart.
Happy 20th anniversary.
My heart is about loving up on my sisters. Do you know what it feels like to have your sisters in the room? John.
And dare to be different and unique. I'm gonna be the best me I can be by letting His glory shine through. I am beautiful, I am blessed, but not just what you see in the flesh. I'm free from people, free from myself. There's a
the doctor lived next door to the janitor, to the reverend, and the lawyer. We were together. Now we get so high and mighty that you create stress for your society because you don't like poor black folks either. That's a health problem. Get yourself together so I can stop being taking care of geriatric people and get back to pediatrics. I thank you, Doni, for all you've done. Let's keep doing it all the more.
letting His glory shine through. Dare to be you, dare to be me, dare to be different and unique. I'm gonna be the best me I can be by letting His glory shine through. And I dare you, I dare you, I dare you to be you.
First name's Doni, last name's Glover, in it to win it for the long haul, baby. You know, some time ago, I was first introduced to gorgeous Prince George's County. A mentor of mine, big brother in business, Mr. William Hobson, took me down to Woodmore. I had never been to Woodmore, and as an adult, I don't recall really spending much time, if any, in gorgeous Prince George's County. But oh, let me tell you, ever since that day, ever since the day Will Hop took me down to Woodmore, I have gained a whole army of supporters and friends and people who want to see me do well. So we're just waiting on our guest for today. He was formerly the mayor of Seat Pleasant. Now, I didn't know nothing about Seat Pleasant, but he's about to tell me all about it. Seat Pleasant, that was your claim to fame, right, Mr. Mayor? Oh, what you do? What you do? You got your volume off. You got to go out and come back in. Did your phone ring? What happened? We just had you. Well, just go out and come back in. Go out and come back in. Gorgeous Prince George's County. We got my main man, Michael Randolph. We're going to have to get you your own show because you be coming with some wild questions. I'm like, Mike, we're not going in that direction.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Oh, we got you loud and clear. Seat Pleasant.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Seat Pleasant, Maryland. One of the 57 municipalities in the state of Maryland. Very progressive little town. Approximately about 5,000 residents in the heart of Prince George's County, central Prince George's County, Maryland. And some wonderful people that live there. And I had the honor and the pleasure of serving them for 16 years in that capacity as their chief executive officer.
So one question I've been wanting to ask you for a few years now is about probably, quite possibly, the baddest basketball player out there. You don't agree? Okay, we got some Steph Curry fans over here in my ear, but you know, when I think of Seat Pleasant and I think of you, tell me about Kevin.
We were blessed to watch this young man when he was in middle and high school practice at the Seat Pleasant Recreation Center. I didn't know who he was, but I did see him. I would watch him. But somebody he looked up to is who I was told to watch. His name was Chris McCray, another guy, Charlie Bell. And so the people who mentored our dear brother, Brother Durant, also mentored these other cats who were extremely talented in the game of basketball. And Kevin looked up to them. So I would watch all of them playing in the rec center. And it is true, some of the things that you've heard in the interviews and programs, that he literally would sleep in the rec. There was this big curtain that could divide the gymnasium. And when it was closed, he would get behind the curtain and take a nap and get back up and go back on the court again and continuously practice. It's almost like the story you heard of Michael Jordan. He would be the first on the court and the last to leave. Kevin Durant had that same type of drive, that same kind of push, that same kind of mindset that I'm in it to win it. I'm here to stay, and I'm making my mark in life. And he has done just that in terms of basketball, and now in terms of investing in business.
Work ethic.
Work ethic. He had it. Has it, I should say.
But he also has enough sense to invest in home.
Yes.
When I saw the parade, it was some years back, but you did a parade for him. And tell us about that.
So when that big championship was won and we were watching it on the television and people were so excited, we saw people in Seat Pleasant and in the neighboring communities. His grandmother lived in Capitol Heights. He used to run up and down the streets to practice his exercises in the town of Fairmont Heights. And all of these communities, they were just so overjoyed about this win. And not just the win for him, but also the win for all of us. It was a star of hope. And so we decided that we would have a conversation with a few people. And I said, let us do like they do in other communities. Let's have a parade. I'm known for putting on parades. So let's do a parade. And we worked, our team got together and we worked very hard. It was not easy. It was a big lift. But about 25,000 people came out to support. Some numbers may be a little higher, but I'm estimating, based upon what our count was, around 25,000 fans and supporters came out to support. And we started on Hill Road, and we decided we wanted to go down Seat Pleasant Drive because it was named after the city. So we came down Seat Pleasant Drive, ended it at Goodwin Park, and then there was a bus that picked him up and took him over to the rec center. And there we had this big ceremony. The county executive at the time presented him with a proclamation. I had already given him the keys to the city a while back. But these are the things that people were so excited. You should have saw them, the little children, the teenagers, the adults, even senior citizens lining up along the parade route, wanting to get a glimpse, wanting to see this champion, this person who was our hope, our shining armor, our great example of as the scripture said, can any good thing come out of Nazareth? Can any good thing come out of Seat Pleasant, Maryland? Yes, we see it right now. We see him riding down the street. Here is something that is great that came out of an unknown city. People never knew who we were. They never knew our name, but now our name is in lights. It's being talked about all over the world. This young man that came from Seat Pleasant, Maryland, Kevin Durant, is an undisputed champion of our community. So that energy, that excitement was right there. And we were happy to be a part of that history in the city of Seat Pleasant. And we're still looking forward to greater things to come from this young man, not just now, but even into the future.
I remember seeing his mom.
Wanda.
Tell me about Wanda.
As the movie depicts about her life, she was truly supportive of her two sons. And she worked for the post office. And, postal work is some very grueling work and long hours. So the rec center served almost like a babysitter, if you will, for Kevin. And so she knew he was in safe hands, and you would see her come down to the rec center from time to time. But since that time, Wanda has been actively engaged in the community. Every Thanksgiving, she's out there giving away hundreds of Thanksgiving baskets, not just the turkey, but the trimmings as well. She has supported other initiatives in the community that supports young females. She's very strong about being an example and supporting young ladies in the community. She suffers from Graves' disease, and so she has been in the forefront of talking about Graves' disease that afflicts African-American communities in a very harsh way. And so she's been in the forefront of making certain that people are aware of this disease and making certain that she encourages them to get tested and checked out and more. Wanda has been engaged in many forums in the community, serving on panels and discussions and being a person to give encouragement to people in the community. She has been truly a wonderful human being, very nice, down to earth. I mean, she can be firm, she can be tough, and you can understand why, but she really is a really nice person. And you can enjoy a good conversation. You would love to have a cup of coffee with her and just talk about various topics. She's now a motivational speaker, so she goes around the country speaking to various groups that exist in our community and various communities around this country. So yes, Wanda is an exceptional person, and she's done a wonderful job raising her two sons.
In this Black History Month, I would be remiss if I didn't give you the opportunity to acknowledge, if I'm not mistaken, it's been some time since we've talked, but I remember you used to pay homage, remember seeing you, hearing you pay homage to either your mom or grandma.
Well, I can tell you that my grandmother, who was born in Kentucky, and was probably one of the most significant people in my life that set me on the path of service. And she just was extraordinary in my formative years of learning. And I am just honored and blessed to have had the mentorship and tutorial from her. And then my mother, so I lived with my grandmother for the first few years of my life. And then as my grandparents began to age and could no longer take care of me, I moved back with my mother. My mother worked for Veterans Administration for 56 years when she retired. And so her work ethic and her commitment and her service, just like her mother, to people are examples that I take from them and do my best to ensure that I'm following the pattern that they have set for me. So yes, this Black History Month, I honor Jenny Viola and Martha Grace for the great works and examples that they set for me, that I might be able to pick up the baton and continue to carry it on until the next generation after me picks up that mantle and serves our people.
So tell me about your journey coming out of high school, and do acknowledge your high school.
Yeah, Duke Ellington School of the Performing Arts, probably one of the greatest high schools for me at that time that a person could attend. You can imagine going to an art school that in the morning hours is the academics, your English, your math, your science, your world cultures classes, history. And then in the afternoon, after lunch, you may have had one academic class, but then after that, all arts classes. And so my discipline was voice. No surprise, as I can be very voluminous at times. But we took various classes, and the unity, the camaraderie, the uniqueness of some of the teachers, because they themselves were creatives themselves and very talented, like Davy Yarborough and others who are extraordinary human beings and talented individuals themselves. And we would have on occasion many of the well-known celebrities. I had the opportunity through Duke Ellington to meet Lena Horne. I was her valet when she came there. Dionne Warwick. These great luminaries came through to Duke Ellington on occasion. I got a chance to meet Duke Ellington's son, Mercer Ellington, and his granddaughter, Mercedes Ellington. Had opportunities as a high school student, because I was in leadership even in high school. I was picked to be the valet of each of these celebrities that would come to the school. I would be the student leader that was chosen to be their valet. And thanks be to God, I had the opportunity to just have basic conversations with them. Nothing lengthy, but good chat with these individuals, and just to see them not on television, but live and in living color, shake their hand and to hear them speak about some of their trials, their tribulations, their ups, their downs, the master classes that Wynton Marsalis came to the school and gave a master class. I mean, it was just extraordinary to have that exposure of these great and talented people. So you talk about Black history. This is part of the Black history piece of your show that we are talking. And so truly very blessed as an individual to have had that foundation. And also in high school, I had the opportunity around that time to be mentored by Marion Barry on different occasions, to go to various meetings with him. H.R. Crawford, who was on the city council, was a mentor of mine. So was able to travel with him in Ward 7 to various meetings. And so I think that's kind of where I got a little bit of the taste of the political. I hadn't gotten bitten yet, but I got a little taste of it, and seeing how that through politics you can do good work and help the people. So very excited, obviously, about that opportunity, and doing various things in the community and being involved in Prince George's County, Chiefs Advisory Board, and various other committees that I served on in Prince George's County. And then around 2000, a group of citizens asked me to run for mayor. And I wasn't really interested, because I had a youth organization that I was running, my time was focused on that. But they convinced me, and so I decided to run. We did not win the first time. We did not win, but we came back. They insisted that I come back, and in 2004, we were blessed to win, and we won 5 elections in Seat Pleasant, Maryland. I'm the longest serving mayor in the history of Seat Pleasant, Maryland, holding 5 terms. So it has been just a great honor at the time to be able to serve our people and uplift where we can uplift, to be an encourager in those areas where we can encourage, and to provide services to those who are desperately in need of those services. It has not always been easy. There are the ups and downs, the ebbs, the flows. You know, there are those moments where you can have those mountain moments, but then there are those Piedmont moments. And then there's valley moments that you even go lower than the Piedmont. You go down into the valley of despair, the valley of dead bones, the valley where you cry, the valley of pain, the valley of misery. You know, so you've had all of that. But thanks be to God that there are those times that, you know, he lifted you up out of the miry clay, set you upon a solid rock, allow you the opportunity to go up to the mountaintop and bask in the rays of the sun, to allow the rays of the sun to energize you, to keep on fighting a little bit harder and a little bit longer for the benefit of the people whom we serve. So we thank God for all of those experiences, and that has brought us to where we are. And I can tell you, to be honest, and this is no joke. I have had the great opportunity and the great pleasure, Doni, of meeting you, a grassroots leader, a voice for the voiceless, a person who speaks truth to power, a person who asks the right questions, the tough questions that maybe others are afraid to ask. A man who has been able to stand up against great opposition when they didn't want to support you or see you be successful, but you toiled and you tarried and you did what you had to do, and look at that you're still here, as much as they tried to stop you, but you're still here. I cannot help but to appreciate you on this Black History, and to magnify and uplift your name as one of the great persons here in the great state of Maryland. Your Black Wall Street program, where you have given awards to people all over the state. You've done it in Seat Pleasant, Maryland, where we've honored individuals in the state, in the city of Seat Pleasant. You came quite a few years ago, and you were able to do that. And then other places of Prince George's County. So it's not just the Baltimore thing. You have supporters, not just in Baltimore, because you have plenty of supporters in Baltimore, but you also have supporters outside of Baltimore as well. So on this Black History Day, we thank you. We thank you for staying the course. We thank you for not giving up. We thank you for not selling out and being the person that you are. And we will forever love you and honor you and cherish you for the work that you do in our community.
Did you see Kendrick Lamar? Thank you.
No, I did not. Unfortunately, I was working, so I did not get a chance to see the performance. But man, did I hear people talking about it.
What'd they say? What'd they say?
Well, you had those people who are not conscience people who criticized and didn't like his performance. But then I would listen to other people and said that he was so deep that there was a message in there for the African-American community. If you were paying attention, you would have been able to, but that shows you the Black intellect or the lack thereof, depending upon whose perspective or whose voice is speaking at the time. So I didn't hear the performance, but I'm gonna have to lean towards those persons who amplified how great his performance was, because they said that it was brilliant, the way he did what he did and how he composed those words to be able to present. I mean, you're going to start off with Samuel L. Jackson. Oh my goodness. And the energy of the Williams sister. I mean, that that is a message in and of itself. I don't know if people paid attention even to that. Because to be honest with you, he could have picked anybody. I mean, it's the Super Bowl. It's the Super Bowl. And everybody watches the halftime. So he could have chosen anybody. But he didn't. He chose who he chose. And I think that, in days, weeks, and months to come, that performance will continuously be analyzed. And I think that there will be individuals that will ultimately say it was probably a great performance because of the message that it sent. Our people are great at subliminal messages. In slavery time, we sent messages by way of song. And so when it was time to escape the plantation, and we sang that song, Wade in the Water. And so we those songs like that and those messages. So Kendrick Lamar sent some messages. I don't think that people really understand the messages, just as we did during the Holocaust of enslavement here in the wilderness of North America. Kendrick Lamar did something very similar. In fact, he tapped into his ancestors, the spirit of his ancestors, and he began to show and demonstrate on that international platform how he can still send the message to the masses of our people to let them know that it's time for you to wake up. It's time for you to not just wake up, but to stand up. It's not just time to wake up and stand up, but it's time for you to wake up, stand up, and have a backbone and do what you're supposed to do for the benefit of our people. And I think from what I've heard in the conversations, those who criticized and those who amplified, I think that I'll have to stand on the side of those who amplified and said his performance was great because of the message. Remember, there's a scripture in the Bible says that Jesus said that the mysteries of the kingdom are given unto you to know. And so those people may not know the mysteries, but because it hasn't been given to them. So those who were criticizing Brother Kendrick Lamar are those individuals who God did not reveal his truths to. But to somebody else, the mystery of his performance was revealed to those individuals that, as Jesus said, those that have ears, let them hear. Those that have eyes, let them see. And so those individuals were able to hear, and they was able to see the message that he was able to bring forth through that international platform. And from that, there will be some who will be awakened out of their graves. They will resurrect to a new reality for the benefit of the uplift of our people.
I want to take you back to 2006. I remember coming to Prince George's quite a lot. Around that time, Kwesi Mfume was running for Senate. And Prince George's, if you ask me, was more a supporter of him than maybe even Baltimore, especially financially. But we fast forward to the Senate race, where Angela Alsobrooks did in fact become the first Black. What does that mean for gorgeous Prince George's County? What does it mean for the state of Maryland as she steps onto a national platform with the likes of Jasmine Crockett and Ocasio and Ilion? Tell me about that. What's it mean for the great state of Maryland?
Wow, that was a very loaded question. And I'm going to be as very careful as to how I answer that question, because I don't want anybody to get the wrong impression of any statement that I may make, but look into the perfect law of liberty wherewith we are made free. And that is the hope that I am able to convey through your program. We have got to get beyond symbolism. And while it is wonderful, and I support our dear sister, I think she has, since being in the Senate, has done a phenomenal job. I've been watching clips of her performance in the committees, the types of questions that she's asking, the examples relating to the pain and suffering of people using her grandma. I thought the grandmother discussion was extraordinarily powerful. I thought it was already powerful about what the work that she had to do for her father and her mother, and what they were going through and are going through. They're not over it; they're still going through it, and thank God they are, because they're still alive. But these challenges that she has brought to the fore that maybe other people are not. Now, she is a very educated sister. She's very smart, but she's not at the level of Ocasio. She's not Elian, or she's not a Maxine Waters. That's not her style. So I don't think people should look for that from her. Out of fairness, I think that we should be fair to the senator and allow her to be who she is. But at the same time, the senator has to understand that her people are also looking for her to raise her voice a little bit louder, to be a little bit stronger, to speak that truth to power, and not be afraid of the donors to her campaign offending donors and offending other individuals. You're there now. God opened up the door for you to be there. And now that you're there, the expectation for you is to stand firm and to stand strong. And I believe if she does that, I think the people in the state of Maryland will be very supportive of her. As far as Prince George's County, Prince George's County has two personalities. It's bipolar. It's schizophrenic. I love the county, but it's bipolar. We're not unified in this county. And I don't know if there's anybody out there at this time in the public space who is someone that can unify the county. You have the haves and the have-nots. You have the inner beltway versus the outer beltway. And I know that many county leaders don't like when you differentiate between the two. But the reality is, it is two counties. It are those persons who have access to resources, and then there are those persons that don't even know resources even exist. That's how far removed they are from the system in this county. And so, yes, Angela is someone we can all be proud of. She won't embarrass us. That's for certain. She's not going to do that. But we hope that she picks up. And again, she just got there, right? So she's got to feel her way. She's got to learn the halls. She's got to learn the personalities of her colleagues. She's got to know how far she can go, how far she can't go, to push to get things, the resources, etc. So we understand that. And right now, I'm quite certain she's very busy trying to keep up with all of the stuff that Donald Trump is doing. And Donald Trump is being masterful at what he does. He's being masterful. He's throwing out so much that you can't keep up. You can't fight him on all of these fronts. And so therefore you're going to lose, and he's going to gain certain battles he's going to win. And so that is really where the concern is that he's throwing so much out there. You know, one day it's this, the next day it's three other things. Like, there is no one headline. Literally, there is no one headline. Headlines is only based upon the hour that it comes out. Because about 2 or 3 hours after that, there's going to be another headline, you know, right after that. So now you're trying to fight this one issue, and he's come out 4 or 5 hours later with 2 more issues. Now you got to divert your attention from over here. Now you got to go over here, and our resources are being stretched on how much research we can do to counter, what lawyers we're going to hire to fight this fight. Where's the money going to come from to take him to court? You know, he's been a master at subterfuge. He's been a master of throwing out multiple issues. So can Angela handle that? Does she have what it takes to corral her people? Will Prince George's County stand up, or will it continuously be bipolar or schizophrenic? I don't know if the county is going to be able to give her the support that she needs. So we can talk about her, but what about the people of Prince George's County? All right, I mean, they're suffering. So even people with a little bit of means is saying, well, you know, $8 for a dozen of eggs, even that's difficult for people with a little bit of money, with a little bit of means. I don't know. And so now they're focused on how they're going to survive. They still have challenges with their children, and with the school system, and having their children educated, or having their children involved in extracurricular activities, or the crime that may be occurring that is not even being reported, the assaults on people, students and teachers alike. You know, who is going to stand up?
I got a curveball for you. When's your birthday?
Oh, the 7th of June. God blessed me to when he ended his work on the 7th day. The 7th of June. I
got some news for you. You may not know.
I'm quite certain you got a lot of news. I mean, that I don't know.
Guess what?
What's that?
You, Kendrick Lamar, and Donald Trump all have in common.
What's that?
Geminis.
Oh, Donald Trump is a Gemini? I didn't know that. When is his birthday?
Breaking news. BeMoreNews.com.
Yeah, I didn't. I'm not a fan of Donald Trump, so I don't keep up necessarily with those.
Kendrick Lamar, like Donald Trump, is hitting you from so many different angles. By the time you research one line in one song, you're now trying to figure out the new line in the new song.
Gotcha. Yes, sir. Well, I don't think that Donald Trump is a genius. I don't think that. But I think he's a master at what he does. Because he's been doing it.
That takes some doing.
Yeah. People say he's an idiot. No, actually, he's not
an idiot.
No, he's not an idiot. The man won president twice. I mean, you can't call that an idiot. I mean, he's done something to win, and he continues to win. And he's not trying to win it all, because deep down in his mind, he knows he can't win it all. He'll never verbalize that, right? He won't say that. But in his subconscious, he knows he can't win it all. He knows exactly what he wants to win. And what he wants to win, he wins. He wanted the appointment of those cabinet secretaries. He won. He got them. So you can't say he's an idiot. You can't say he doesn't know what he's doing. He's won. There are other fights. I mean, firing the board for the Kennedy Center? No president has ever done. None. No president has ever done that.
Explain to us what that means.
Well, he has sent a message to his supporters that the Kennedy Center over the years has become the symbol of the LGBTQIA community. And in particular, the drag queens, et cetera, which, as you know, that is abhorrent to the Christian right. And so he has signaled to Paula White and all of these evangelicals that I'm with you, Earl Roberts University, and all of these leaders in the far right. He has sent the signal that I'm with you. Now, you and I both know, and your listening audience, all of us know, Donald Trump is no religious person. That is just not, and I'm not saying that as a judgment call, bad or good. That's not my point. My point is he's just not, that's not who he is. He's not a religious person. Yet, the religious people love him. The Christian right love him. Well, why do they love him? Because of things like this. The Kennedy Center is what he has done. He has.
So this is white Christian nationalism?
Yes. Yeah. Yes. 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 Now, think about some of this stuff that is happening. Let's talk about abortion just real quickly. They're fighting abortion so heavily, but they really don't care that if Black and brown people abort their babies. This is not about this.
Margaret Sanger told us that.
Yeah, it's not about that. It's not about abortion. It's about white abortion.
Because the population is dwindling.
Yeah. I mean, if you read books by Dr. Francis Cress Welsing and some of these other great Black intellectuals who have shown us the power of genetics and melanin and who we are as a people, not self-proclaimed stuff, but divine stuff that is beyond even our own ability to do. I can't give myself melanin. I can't do that. You know, that's a different department. That's God's department, right? For those who believe in God, that's God's department. So these individuals on the far Christian right, who are mainly white evangelicals, are recognizing that they're dying. So as I tell people, look, stop calling everything racism. It's not necessarily racism. It's the survival of a species. So when you mislabel it, then you fight the wrong fight. The fight that you're fighting is not necessarily racism. The fight, because that's the symptom, not the problem. That's not the cause. The cause is that white people recognize that they're dying. And the first law of nature is self-preservation. So the species has to do everything within its power to fight. What is it? Fight or flight? It is or freeze. Fight, flight, or freeze. These white folks are not freezing, and they're not fleeing. So now what are they doing? They're fighting. That little mouse, that timid little creature, will run if you go after it. But if you put that mouse in a corner, the type of fight that you're going to have from that little mouse, you may not win. As small and as timid as it is, because it realizes that it is in danger, it is possibly about to die, and I'm not going to die, I'm going to fight back. And so what you have is a genetics fight that is going on, not necessarily a racism fight, but a genetics fight. Yeah, we can talk about the racism and the examples. Some of your listening audience will probably want to debate me on that. I get that, but you better get with me on the Lamar level, because this is much deeper than racism. This is about the survival of a species. If they mate, remember it was against the law for interracial marriage. It wasn't just about interracial marriage. It was about that if that Black man impregnates that white woman.
Black babies. Tell me about Sandy Pruitt. People for Change. We don't want no smoke with that lady, because if we don't acknowledge what she's got coming up, I'm going to get a phone call, and we don't want that kind of drama.
No, you don't want to get on the bad side of Sandy Pruitt. She'll make life very difficult for you.
Yes, she will.
Yes, she'll make it difficult, but she is preparing for, I think it's 2 forums, but the one on the 18th is with the top contenders in this special election coming up in March in Prince George's County. And I have never, Brother Doni, seen so many forums. And I've been involved in Prince George's County politics since the days of Paris Nelson Glendenning. And I have never seen so many forums being held all over this county. I can't even keep up with them. I mean, it's like 3 and 4 a week. I don't even know how the candidates can keep up with all of these forums that are out there. So People for Change, and I think there's a couple other organizations that are working with them, are going to be hosting this forum next week in District Heights, Maryland. And I tell you, I know, Sandy, those questions are not going to be easy questions. They're going to be tough. And those candidates better come prepared with answers to the question, and don't give subterfuge, and don't skirt around the issue. Answer that would be the advice that I would give those candidates. It's your opportunity to answer these questions, because Sandy is doing her research. She is preparing herself, and she's going to be the spotlight, because my understanding, she is the one that's moderating. She's going to moderate the forum, from what I understand. So I already know that she's right now probably in her laboratory researching the records of each of those candidates, and going to create questions based upon their past performance. And she's going to ask them the tough questions. So I don't anticipate this to be a very easy forum for the candidates. It's going to be pretty tough.
4 names are out there. There's Aisha Braveboy. There's Calvin Hawkins. There's Jolene Ivy. And there's Rashawn Baker.
Yeah, those seem to be the top contenders. And because all of them are in public life right now, all of them have been elected, and all of them have a couple of dollars.
I'm going to make this easy. What kind of leader, what are the characteristics that you would like to see in the next county executive of Prince George's County?
Dr. Cornel West said that you can't save the people if you don't serve the people. You can't serve the people if you don't love the people. That's what I'm looking for, is a person who loves the people.
Malcolm said something like that too, didn't he?
Well, Malcolm said a whole lot of things that I don't know if they would be ready and prepared to hear.
In 2025, we still not ready?
No. They're fearful because they still want acceptance of people. My loving Black people has nothing to do with hatred of anybody else. Yet, we still have Black leaders that are afraid to say they love Black people.
I love Black people.
I love them. I love Black people. Why would I not? I'm Black. I'm Black. So if I say I love Black people, I'm actually saying I love myself.
Yes.
Right? So that doesn't mean I don't love Latinos. That doesn't mean that I don't love Asians. That's not what that statement means. But yet we allow the media and others to define what our words mean. How you gonna tell me what love means? How you gonna tell me that if I say I love Black people, for some kind of reason, your sick, warped mind interprets that as me anti-white? That is not. In fact, because I love me, I'm able to love a white person. You can't love somebody else without loving yourself first. You can't love your wife. You can't love your husband until you first love yourself. And if you love yourself, then charity begins at home, and then it spreads abroad. I got to love me first. I got to love the people who I'm around first, so that I can spread that love to somebody else. That the loving Black people, or Black people saying that they love themselves, does not mean that they hate somebody else. That is some foolishness that we've allowed our enemy to impregnate into the hearts and the minds of the people. And we've given birth to that foolishness. And we need a person in the county executive's position who is willing to serve the people. And that service is based upon the love for the people. Because if you love the people, right? If you love the people, the agenda of the people becomes first. You don't come first. The people come first. We have gotten so much that, I want this position so I can have a driver, so I can have security, so I can have 4 and 5 secretaries, so I can get invited, so I can get awards. Where's all this coming from?
So
I want to see it. There you go. I want to see a county executive come out and say, I don't want no awards until I earn it. Don't none of y'all give me an award until I earn it. But as soon as whoever becomes county executive, everybody gonna have events and they want to bestow upon all these awards and they ain't even done nothing yet. Or they might have done 1 or 2 little things. I need a person who first puts the people first and is willing to serve the people, and they're willing to serve the people based upon love. I need a person in the county executive's office who is a coalition builder. Someone, because there's no one can do it by themselves. Even Jesus had to go get 12. So, and his largest church was 72. So Jesus, who he was, didn't do it by himself. So no county executive should come up with the attitude to think that I am the panacea of the problems of Prince George's County, because you're not. And I say that to all of the candidates' faces. I ain't afraid of not near one of them. The people must come first. You must be a coalition builder. You must be a problem solver. You have to know how to solve problems. Why would I elect someone in leadership position who's never truly solved problems? The county executive, the mayor, the governor, the county executive are people who are problem solvers. We vote for you to solve this problem that we are experiencing in our community. Whatever that problem is, I'm not here to define that, but whatever that problem is, we're looking to you as the leader to be a problem solver. In order to do that, we need to make certain that we elect a county executive who understands what the problem is. Because it's one thing to solve it, but the first thing is, do you understand that there is a problem? For some reason, it appears as though that some of these people don't understand the problems that we have. So why would I elect you to be my leader and you don't even recognize that there is a problem? Or you state the problem, but you have no solution to resolve the problem. I'm not looking for somebody to go up there and regurgitate the same sound bites that I give about the problem. I don't need you to repeat what I said. What I need you to do is tell me as a leader, here's the solution. This is what we're going to do. I've built a coalition of smart, talented people around me. I am as great as my team. And so I have a great team. Michael Jordan couldn't be Michael Jordan if there wasn't a team that was there to support him to be who and what he was. So therefore, I'm looking for a county executive that has the ability to formulate their A team, to formulate their B team, and to formulate their C team to help us move Prince George's County to the next level of our reality for the benefit of the people whom they are elected to serve.
Mr. Mayor, I want to thank you for stepping out this morning and allow us to get a peep inside of your brain. But I would be remiss, and Duke Ellington will not come back from the grave and pimp slap me without me asking you for just one line of one song.
Now you're gonna put me on the spot early in the morning. You know, singers don't be singing early in the morning. But I so in the vein of Duke Ellington, but also in the vein of Martin Luther King, since we are talking about serving people and all, if I could help somebody as I travel along. If I could help somebody with a word or a song, if I could help somebody that is traveling wrong, then my living shall not be in vain.
To God be the glory.
To God be the glory.
You have made my morning. I think you'd have made some people's morning out there. And they just glad you didn't give your prediction on who's going to win this race, because I left that alone. I left that
thank
alone.
you.
But I know you know. Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you so much for your time.
Yes, sir. Good morning, world.
Good morning.